Alright guys, this is going to be test number 2 of the new setup. One thing that one thing that wasn't the same is I forgot that I took out one supply truck. So the second supply truck from the first game was not supposed to be there, but I don't think it did much, so we'll move on. Okay, so for this one, everything is still the same. This time going to play with the Mig Alley. We're going to do the Mig Alley rule, and we'll see where that takes us. Okay, once again, North Korea, turn 1. I'm going to do the same thing. 3 infantry, a Katyusha, and 3 mech. 3 mech. And a supply. Combat, once again, everything is going to attack. These two are going to attack parallel west. These guys are going to attack parallel east. And we're going to have this force once again back up parallel the parallel west attack. And we will once again attempt the bombing of Seoul. We're going to change it up this time though. We're going to try the scramble. So we'll do that too. So first, the AAA miss. And then now we have 2 fighters and a bomber, or 3 fighters and a bomber against a fighter. Let me just double check those Mig Alley rules. Okay, 2, 2, and 2. Oh, so everyone's rolling at 2s. Okay, everyone missed. And then the damage. Three damage. So 3 damage. Considering what happened last time, I mean, I feel like I don't need to roll for the North Korean attacks. Well, no, we might as well just keep it going. Keep it exactly the same. Okay, so for this attack, we have 3 artillery and a Katyusha. Oh, those all miss. Okay. So now, again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, whoops. So 7 infantry. Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So then there's 5 infantry at 3, and the 3 mech at 3. Two hits. And then we've got the 6 infantry at 4. Two hits. And okay. And then I did forget the. Oh wait, no, I did do the South Korea. Yeah. Okay, and then we have 3 mediums and the tank destroyer. That's one hit. That's the artillery. Once again, he gets captured. 2 supplies expended for everybody. First KPA makes it. And then, 1 second. 4 infantry. The 4 infantry defend. Still going to play with the defense of 3. And no hits. Move these guys over to the dead zone. Move you guys over to first corps. And then we have the parallel. The next parallel attack. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but first, that's going to be 5 artillery and a Katusha. No hits. And the South Korean artillery, which is still not there, also missed. Okay. Combat, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 infantry. So that is again 2. That's going to be 10 at 2. Oh no. 10 infantry and 2 mech at 3. That's 3 hits. And then we got the 5 infantry at 4. One hit. Oops, not the artillery. And then we've got 2 tanks and a tank destroyer. Misses. Alright, well, then let's see here. That is going to be 4. That's 1 hit. We'll attempt a retreat for the artillery and the supply truck with 1 supply. They both make it. And so now okay, and then that's second corps taking parallel east. Non-combats. 1, 2. That supply truck. It's going to take 2 infantry and go 3 to the first corps. Or, no. Actually, I'm going to wait on that. That's going to stay. That's going to stay. Call that good. And then those go, and then those deploy. And then, whoops. Okay, South Korea, 31. Paying off the 3 damage. With 28, that is going to be 9 infantry, and a supply. Just gonna put that here now. No combat, non-combat. Gotta try and block. I'll probably you all pull back into Seoul. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. And then do that. And that should be it for South Korea. China fighter. UN. Let's do 2 fighters this time. Non-combat. Get all their fighters to Seoul. Bomber's going to go to Busan. I'm just going to kind of wait until the Americans kind of make their move. Bomber to Busan. Fleet to here. We'll drop off the force supply. And then pass. US. That's so that brings us down to 30. Brings us down to 18. And then with the remaining 10, 2 mech. Combat for the US, none. Non-combat, 5th Air Force is going up with all the aircraft. This time around, I'm going to change it up a little bit. So 1 transport with 5 supply and 1 transport with 1 supply drop off here. And then they are also going to pick up you, and a supply truck. And bring those to Busan. This truck will stay here. A AAA will stay there. These 2 fighters to Seoul. These 2 fighters to Seoul. This supply truck. 1, 2, 3, grabbing these supplies. The chopper will pick up 2 supply, drop it in Seoul. Actually, no. It changed that up. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah. The 2 supply I'm not going to bring to Seoul. The helicopter is just going to stick with them right there. Helicopter is going to stay. This helicopter is going to stay. So we have 2 helicopters. Follow that up. And so now that's the U.S. force on Pusan. And we will call it there. All right, turn 2, South Korea 31. Once again, buying 3, or North Korea 31, buying 3 fighters and a supply rondel. Combat this turn. Just do the same thing again. We're going to take 3 infantry. Take 3 infantry, attack Uijeonbu. Oh, you know what? We'll take the main army, attack Uijeonbu, take the 3, take Incheon. You guys are going to join the attack here. You guys are going to join the attack here. You guys aren't going to do anything this turn. Actually, no. I'm going to wait on that. And then, let's see here. Next. That should be it. Okay, so again, we're going to write off those 2 attacks at Uijeonbu and Chuncheon. There was a hit in Uijeonbu. But not a hit in Chuncheon. Which also means that, hold on, these 2 supply have to go because they're supporting 2 different attacks. Which means I might have been playing this wrong last time too. So 1 supply here go. So actually, yeah. Actually, I won't spend supply on any of these attacks. So then, they'll be defending at a lower value. Okay, so then we have the attack on Incheon. So that's going to be 3 infantry at... Well, this will be the first round will be at the full. So it's going to be all 3s. Each one got a hit. Okay. And then, I already did the Chuncheon battle. No one got lost there, but he got lost. And so then the Chuncheon forces have to spend a supply. Okay, non-combats. Okay, so pretty much outside of the 2 artillery and infantry, everyone's going to go 1, 2 to parallel west. And then, whoa, what did I do right there? Okay, so then that's 5 and 5. Next, I think that'll be it for North Korea. Yeah, so then we'll deploy the other 3 fighters. Deploy another supply. I just want to see something. Can I? Yeah. Well, we'll see. And then do that. Okay. South Korea with 26. Again, that's 8 infantry, and I'll save the 1 this time. 8 infantry, save the 1. Combat. We'll use the 1 South Korean artillery, and we'll try a snipe. We'll see what happens. We'll snipe at the 2 infantry in Incheon. Okay, that was a hit. So 1 of the infantry in Incheon is lost. Other combats. I don't have any. So the non-combat. Ooh. Seoul. Whoops. Seoul. And then drop the 8 infantry in Seoul. And then pass turn. China. Fighter. UN. We'll do infantry. And then a supply. Yeah, because that's 3, 9, 19, 20. Okay. No non-combats. Drop these 2 fighters with the 5th Air Force at Pusan. Over to the Americans at 50. Whoops. I think so that'll put us back at 30 again. Let's do a medium and a self-propelled for 14. Do another transport for 7. Let's do an infantry and artillery for 5. And then for 4, let's do 4 supply again. Let's just do 4 supply. Okay, combat for the U.S. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. We're gonna come up here. We got, what is that? We have 3 transports. So I can take 6 units and 3 supply. Well, 1, whoops. So let's do this. 1, 2, 3, and then, 1, 2, 3. And then, like I said, we are going to take 3 supply with us, and we're going to attempt a landing here in 38 West. Okay, so destroyers. I have 3 destroyers. At 4. 1, 2 cruisers. At 6. Both miss. And the battleship at 8. Alright, so that's 2 hits against the North Koreans right off the bat. Okay, so now the U.S. will have let's see, they have three, so they have one tank. All right, so then they have the two artillery. They have two artillery, and the communists have a Katyusha. Everybody missed. So then the Americans have two infantry at 3. Oh, well, I suppose if I could, I'd probably bring in these 4 fighters. Yeah, I'd bring in the 4 fighters and the bomber as well. So then we have 2, so then we have 3 infantry at 4. Miss. The light tank and 4 fighters at 5. 2 hits. And then the bomber at 8. The bomber hits. Okay, the North Koreans, so they have, okay, 1 second, what do, okay, so then they have, oh boy, so they have 3 infantry at 2, 1 hit. They have 3 mech at 3. Hold on. Oh, 3 mech and a Katyusha at, oh, the Katyusha doesn't shoot yet. Katyusha shot the first part. 2 hits. 1, 2. Okay, so that's round 1 of that. Okay, round, oh, whoops. Yeah. All right, so round 2 of combat. The U.S. did spend 1 supply. Okay, so now they have 2 artillery at 4 and a light tank at 5. Well, hold on. No, because they still have the aircraft. So the 2 artillery at 4. Miss. The light tank and 4 fighters at 5. Right? Yeah. 4 tanks and a light fighter at 5. Okay, 1 hit. And then the bomber at 8. Hit. Oops. Okay, so then the communists have 4 at, they have 4 at 3. No, they have a Katyusha at 3. Hit. And then they have 3 mech at 4. 1 hit. Okay. That's another round. Okay, so then the U.S. has the tank and 4 fighters at 5. 2. All right, that's it. They got the hits. And then the communists Katusha at 3. Miss. Mech at 4. Miss. Okay, so, and then the 3 hits, so that includes that. The U.S. lands a tank in 38 West. Although, I mean, it's up to the, well, it's a seaborne invasion. You can't retreat from those. So, and then there's a supply that will go in there too. And then that will be it for the American combat. So the bomber will come back to Busan. The fighters will come back to Seoul. Next, then they deploy. Two more transports and a fighter. Yeah, and then they banked. Like I said, they banked 4. Well, no, they didn't bank 4. They bought 4 supply. Oops, and I didn't put the UN purchase down. Okay, now we're back to turn 3. All right, so at turn 3, the communists have 36. Once again, I'll do 3 fighters. Then with the remaining 6 will be 2 infantry. I did see a mistake with that I'll probably try and do in turn 3 or in the next turn. Okay, combat. I'll do it again. Everyone's going in. I'm gonna turn off the camera, do the setup, and then we'll round out the fighting. Whoops. Alright guys, here we go again with the Battle of Seoul. Okay, first off we have, I'm not going to forget this time, we have the air duel. The South Korean AAA gun misses. So the North Koreans have 5 fighters and a bomber at 2. Miss. And then they have 3 jets at 5. And they scored 2 hits. Okay. Then the South Korean fighter at 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 8 Allied fighters at 3. Okay, so the South Korean missed, but the Allied fighters got 3 of the North Korean fighters. Okay, now down to general combat. Okay, the North will have, for their artillery duel, 3, 4, 6, so 8 artillery at 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 1 second. Let me just get rid of those. And then 3 Katyushas at 5. 1 more hit. Okay. All right. Now, 8 mechs at 3. 1, 2, 2 hits. Then we got 15, 19, 20, 20, 22 infantry at 4. One hit for the first 10, and then I'll roll 12 for the remaining. Okay, that's 4 hits. Okay, then we have 5 medium and 2 tank destroyers for 4 more hits. Excuse me. Okay, now over to the defense. Okay, so that is 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So that's 25 at 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 hits. For the first 10, I said 24. So then just roll the last 14. Real quick. Yikes, 2 hits. Or 2 more hits for that. And then that's it. Okay, so that's the first round. Now, honestly, I mean, at this point, someone could choose what to do. I'll go another round. I gotta remember that. So with another round, we have the AAA. Misses. So then the North Koreans have 3 fighters and a bomber for 2. Miss. 3 jets for 5. 2 hits. And then the Allies have 2, 4, 2, 4, 6. The Allies have 7 at 3. One hit. Okay. Round 2 combat. Once again, 8 mechs at 3. 1. Oh, jeez, only 1 hit. Then it's 16 infantry. 16 infantry at 4. It's 4 hits. And 4 hit. Whoops. 4 hits. for the first 10. The remaining 6. Four more hits. And then we have 8 artillery at 4. 1, 2, 3. Consistent, 4 more hits. And then we have the 5 medium and 2 tank destroyers. Alright, both tank destroyers hit, but none of the mediums hit, so that'll be it. Okay. Allied defenses. Alright, the infantry. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 for 3. 2, 3, 4, jeez, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. Oof. Yikes. Well, actually, take that. And then the artillery at 4. Misses. Okay, so that's the rest of the South Korean defenses. You're gone. You're gone. We will just retreat. So we have an artillery and 3 supply trucks. All of them make it. And the 3 supply trucks are... Oh, I need 2. Okay, so First Corps retreats to Osan. The North once again captures Seoul. And then after that, non-combats, the aircraft will go back to Seoul. Aircraft will go back to Pyongyang. I understand that there is that American tank right there. Let's see here. We will... Other non-combats. I thought about sending some people against that tank, but I felt like they needed everything here. They kind of... I mean, they really didn't, but... You know, sometimes you can't be too careful. Okay. So then... 4220. Well, might not like this, but you know, this will cover the American tank. Though again, he crosses the parallel, it would activate China anyway, so I don't see him doing that. More than likely moving to east to cut off the south, and then the south would just, or cut off the north. But we have enough supply here to keep us going, and we'd be able to reopen the supply line anyways, I would think. Or maybe not. Because let's see here. Because now with 5 transports, the U.S. could take a good chunk of that, come up here, and it would still, and then that would be it. The North Koreans would be trapped and cut off. So well, that's just something to consider, is that it worked to a point, but now the U.S. is going to be able to counterattack more. Or they're going to be able to put more forces now up here to start cutting off the Southern Army, which then the Southern Army or the Northern Army would have to turn around, reopen the supply lines, and then that would buy everybody some time. But okay, so that's the end of the second go around.